This all got started at Clark College. I was a junior at Clark College here in Atlanta. My house mother said to me one day, "Mary, there is going to be an interview here in 2 or 3 days with Coca-Cola. They are doing a campaign in the well, no, it wasn't the African American community then. It was the Negro community. They were doing a campaign, and she said, I want you to go down for the interview." I said, "Mrs. Martin, I really don't have time. I'm doing some studying. I have a lot of chores to do. I really don't have time to go down there for that." She said, "Miss Causer," well, she knew I was afraid. I was afraid to go. She said, "Miss Causer, I expect you to be there, and I expect you to be there on time." I said, "Okay, fine." Well, in those days, you just did what adults told you to do, and that's what I did. So when I went down, there was Coca-Cola set up in this room with several agents there, with their employees there, and there must have been, I'm going to say, at least 75 people in the room. And when I walked in there, well, I had cried the night before because I was afraid to come for the interview. And I said, "My Lord, why am I here with all these people?" So I said, "I know I'm in the wrong place." Well, I went in, and they interviewed us, and they talked to us, told us what they were looking for. And I said, "Okay." So I went back to my room and I cried. We didn't have a telephone, so I couldn't call my parents to tell them that what I was doing. So they called me, the house mother called me the next day and said, "Mary, you have been selected to model for Coca-Cola." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Miss Martin, this is going to be a tragedy in my family, trying to get my father to understand that his youngest child, the youngest of 10 children, is going to do some modeling." Because you have to remember, my dad had never been out of ball play but a couple of times. I finally asked my mother to talk to my dad about this, and she did, and she said, "Mary, it's going to be okay." I said, "Okay." Well, I made the pictures that day. I went home to ball play. I took a $600 check. Now, let me tell you, that was money, a lot of money. I took my $600 check from Coca-Cola, and I showed it to my dad, and he said, "You've convinced me." And my dad ended up being a consumer of Coca-Cola. I'd like for you to know that that $600 paid my tuition at Clark College then for 1 year. And let me say to you, I am very honored and pleased that they reached out, they used me to reach out to others in the African American community, especially a lot of the employees that are here today.